Hello everybody and welcome to JGod Gaming. Today's video we're going to be focusing on what the best division is currently in Call of Duty World War II. If you guys didn't know, they added a brand new division. It's called the Commando Division. If you have been a subscriber to the channel for a little while, you'll remember that I did that breakdown of what I thought of each division and I've ranked them from worst to best. So for this video I'm going to focus on the top 5 divisions currently in Call of Duty World War II, especially since I already had a little bit longer list before. I'm just going to focus on those top 5 and see how those shifted based off the Commando Division. Just a quick heads up, the gameplay in the background is of me playing with subscribers and we're going up against a 4-man party. So if you do enjoy the video in any way, regardless if you actually agree or disagree with my list, let me know down in the comments section below. And then also if you're brand new to the channel, I typically cover Call of Duty news, in-game updates, give best class setups. I also do videos on how to improve as well as subscriber gameplay breakdowns where subscribers submit gameplay and I kind of walk through the gameplay and break down what they can improve on and what they do really well. So if any of that sounds interesting, make sure you subscribe with those notifications on. Let's go ahead and get into the list. Number 5 on the list is Resistance. So the Resistance division ends up being on this list at number 5 because of all the different things that it ties together. Personally, I'm not a fan of the mini-map indicator because of the scrambler. It gives away your position, but it works a lot like 6th Sense from previous games. Enemy movements are easier to hear. That one's pretty much not noticeable in my opinion, but where it gets really good is all the kills you get, all the assists grant you a ping to actual nearby enemies, which will light up the little mini map and tell you kind of where people are, as well as having this 4th one which allows you to easier spot targets and increase that mini map coverage. Basically gives you that free lookout. Combining number 3 and 4 give you so much map awareness that it can actually help you position yourself better even if you turn off that scrambler. But at the end of the day, I think having this division just isn't quite as good as the other ones. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the list. Sitting at number 4 is the Infantry Division. When it comes to the Infantry Division, everything that used to make it so awesome got ruined with that division update. Obviously, there were some balancing things that they changed around to make other divisions just a little bit better. But in the process of changing things around, Infantry became that much worse. And although it is that much worse, it is still very good, and let's go ahead and talk about some of the reasons why. The number 1 reason is this 4 attachment slots, because a lot of the weapons go from being good guns with 3 attachments to going over the top with 4 attachments and a handful of guns. There's not a ton of them, but there are some guns. When you put that 4th attachment, it just goes godly. As far as the 2nd attachment on the pistol and swap weapons faster, that's not really a big deal unless you're specifically looking to use your pistol often. If you're looking to go for a pistol streak, pistol V2, camo challenges, that extra attachment can actually help a lot. When it comes to aiming down sights and having less idle sway, that one's pretty good because some guns have some crazy idle sway. They usually do like this figure 8 motion, and some of them have faster idle sway as time goes on versus some have almost no idle sway. Like the 1941 is one of those examples where it just doesn't have very much idle sway at all, if any. And then the last part here is the one that I think a lot of people like to take advantage of, which is the move faster while aiming down sights. And the reason is, for a lot of players, they feel like they're actually stuck in mud when they're actually strafing with the rifle. Not so much with the SMGs, definitely very much with LMGs. So this kind of simulates that scope effect. And one of the added benefits with being able to strafe faster is that you get a little bit more aim assist when you're more conscious about strafing. But the other part of it is that you're a harder target to hit, especially when you come up against someone with a little bit slower sensitivity. They won't be able to track you because you're going to be moving faster than they can physically aim while aim down sight. So the next division on the list is definitely a tried and true division, and that's the Armored Division. And that takes the number 3 slot. It actually got bumped down a little bit, so you guys will have to wait and see what I think is number 1 and 2. But as far as number 3 goes, Armored is probably one of the most versatile. And let's go ahead and break down why it's so good. If we just look at that first description of the line, it says takes significantly less explosive damage and fire damage, right? I don't really care too much about the explosives because a lot of times you can just avoid explosives. Obviously, if you jump into war, you can use this division. It's amazing. But as far as fire damage, this is literally the only thing that you can use to counter a fire shotgunner. And that's an amazing thing that this actual division has over every single division. Literally, even if you want to run specialist, you cannot get this. No matter how many kills you go on, you're not going to get this fire damage reduction. So literally, you come around the corner, get sprayed by a fire shotgun using the toggle action, you will get destroyed because that fire will kill you. And then the other part is immune to shell shock and tactical equipment. There's so many times when you're moving around the map, you get hit with the tactical nade. They know where you're at, you can barely move, and you end up getting killed. with this, it's going to be able to deter that. The other part is this level 3 one that basically gives you FMJ. It's not quite as good or even with FMJ because FMJ does stack with this. So it's kind of like a partial FMJ, and FMJ is a partial armored division. They do stack together, so you can use them together, but typically you don't really need that extra bullet penetration on most of these maps, but that one's a huge advantage. And the other part that's just absolutely crazy is this greatly reduced flinch when shot. There's not a lot of flinch in this game, but sometimes you do get some good amount of flinch. This virtually reduces that flinch down to 0. I did some testing on it right when this division got the update, and it literally reduces your flinch by over 50%, which is just crazy to actually just have it built in. So overall, why I rank this one 3rd and not 2nd or 1st is because I think as you become a little bit higher skilled player, a lot of these things you're able to avoid that this protects you from. So this one's more of a newbie or friendly division because it doesn't require a ton of skill to use. Everything's just kind of built in, inherent, protects you. You don't really have to think as much because overall, if you get hit with the tac nade, who cares? You're defended. You get hit with the nade, you can kind of run through it, take a little bit of damage, but you're not absolutely destroyed by it. As far as the flinch, that just helps people with worse aim. They can't control that flinch. And then there's other parts tied in. So it's more of a newbie friendly one, or it's just that division that you could just overwhelmingly play the objective, especially in war when you need to go ahead and disarm a bomb, go ahead and do other things where that you know you will 100% be hit with tac nades and lethal nades. This is a great division for that as well. So we have reached the top 2 of this list of 5. And just a quick reminder, we just covered the resistance division, the infantry division, the armored division. We do have 2 more left, but I will give you a quick reminder to like the video if you're enjoying the video so far. Not necessarily whether you agree or disagree, but whether or not you enjoyed what I've had to say so far. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on, because odds are if you've enjoyed the video so far, you'll probably enjoy the rest of my content as well. So let's go ahead and get into the top 2. So for the top 2, I kind of had a little bit of a cop-out. It's pretty much Expeditionary and Commando. I couldn't really choose which one was actually better. I think personally for my play style, the way I like to play, if I play solo, I think Expeditionary is just overall a better division. But I think if you're more of a rush play style, you like to play very fast, a little bit reckless, Commando is going to be the division for you. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what makes each so good. So first off, I'll break down the Expeditionary and then I'll break down Commando. And you kind of let me know in the comment section below, out of these 2, which one do you think's better? And do you think they're number 1 and 2 on your list as well? So in my opinion, what makes Expeditionary so good is this double lethal is because you can actually run a double S-mine, protect your back, give you map awareness by strategically placing S-mines. Your munitions replenish. That means you get more ammo and you get your S-mines and lethals over time if you want to use sticky nades or other nades. The third one doesn't really matter as much to me. It says improved tacticals. I think there's some things where they just last longer, improved radius and stuff like that, but it's not a huge deal. The other part right here is equipment damage paints enemy on minimap. And that goes for your tactical nades, your S-mines. So if you strategically play stuff, you just get more map awareness. Because a lot of times teammates and enemies and everybody in the game does not run recons for whatever reason. Probably one of the most valuable tools in the game people don't run. But by having these different tools, it'll allow you to cycle through your streaks just a little bit more, give you better map awareness, especially if you're not communicating with other people. You're going to have an opportunity to know where people are coming from, protect your back, because like I did a video on, they are better than teammates. S-mines are definitely better than teammates. And this strategy strategizes a lot around that. Allows you to use your attachments on your gun because you're not going to run out of ammo. So there's so many advantages with this, and I like this division so much because of these different reasons. Even though my KD is better with some other divisions, my preference is this one because of my playstyle. And last but not least, the Commando division. I like the Commando division all around. It's just kind of a change of pace. It's a fresh division. It's nice and fun to use. It doesn't feel broken. Unless it's in the right hands, it could be very good. This paratrooper insert thing is more of annoying. I know I mentioned that in my first impressions video, but I'm not really a fan of things that don't help you live longer and get easier kills. I think this thing is just kind of a deterrent. You have to look up at the sky if you see one of these things to see if someone's coming down before you go and crack it. So it can be a little bit of annoying to play against, but I don't really use it. So for me, I don't think it factors into my grade of it at all. The real cool part is his health regenerates quicker. I saw an exclusive Ace video. He said the normal triggering of health regeneration is roughly 5 seconds. So that means when you get shot, 5 seconds later, you'll start healing. With this, it's approximately 3 seconds. So that's like a 40% reduction, which is pretty significant. And then kills trigger healing, which means that in a gunfight, that 5 seconds or even 3 seconds is completely wiped out if you end up taking hit markers and kill the enemy. Basically, you're going to start the healing process right away. This is crazy for rushers because you get back into the fight so quick. So that's such a useful tool for actually going on a flank, getting hit once, and then healing right away if you kill the person. Then multi-kills and headshots grant extra score and ammo. So that actually does two amazing things. The first one is it synergizes well with ordnance, so you're able to cycle through those streaks a little bit quicker. And the other thing, it takes care of that forge component, because if you're getting these double kills regularly, you're just going to be able to restock that ammo on a regular basis. And the last thing, which can be definitely overpowered with certain combinations, is the double basic training. And this is something we've been asking for a while. The second basic training is a little limited, but overall there's some fun combinations with blitzkrieg and other things, ordnance and other things. Hustle, specialist thrown in there doesn't really work that way, but you get so many basic trainings with specialists, does end up working out pretty well. And that pretty much does it for my top 5 list. Let me know in the comment section below if you agreed or disagree. Remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed any part of the video. Also, if you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, probably hit that subscribe button with notifications on. Quick shout out to all my VIP members. These are subscribers who support the channel on a monthly basis. Thank you guys for that additional support. If you're interested in finding out how you can become a member, go ahead and check out that description below. And in addition to that, I do appreciate all the support you guys give. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.